2,000 years ago, a Roman philosopher named Seneca wrote the most uncompromising attack on anger ever created. Not anger management, not controlling your temper, complete elimination of anger from your life. He called it temporary insanity. He proved you don't need it. He showed how to eliminate it completely. Seneca wasn't writing theory. He lived under two of history's most brutal emperors, Caligula and Nero. He witnessed rage at its absolute worst. He saw what happens when anger has unlimited power. He also saw what's possible when you master yourself instead of being mastered by rage. Today, we're going to break down everything Seneca taught about anger: the psychology, the techniques, the daily practices, and why it matters more now than ever, because our world is drowning in rage. Road rage, social media rage, political rage, workplace rage. We're angrier than ever, and it's destroying us. But there's another way, a path to complete freedom from anger. This is Seneca on Anger, a modern translation. 1. The problem. Let's start with the brutal truth. Anger feels good. That 5-second rush when you're furious, that sense of power when you're yelling, that surge of righteous energy when you're attacking someone who wronged you. It's real, it's intoxicating, it's addictive. Your brain floods with dopamine, the pleasure chemical. Adrenaline makes you feel invincible. Cortisol sharpens your focus. For 5 glorious seconds, you feel strong, righteous, fully alive. That's the hook. That's why you keep getting angry, even though you know it's destructive. Because in that moment, it doesn't feel destructive. It feels powerful. But Seneca says that 5-second high costs you everything. Let's count the cost. Your health. Anger is literally killing you. Every time you rage, you flood your body with stress hormones. Your blood pressure spikes. Your heart rate accelerates. Your immune system is suppressed. This happens over and over, and the cumulative damage is devastating. Heart disease, stroke, chronic inflammation, weakened immune function. Anger doesn't just make you feel bad, it makes you sick. Your relationships. People remember your explosions long after you've forgotten them. You think you've moved on, they're still carrying the wound. Your anger creates distance, destroys trust, makes people walk on eggshells around you. Even if you apologize, the damage accumulates. Eventually, people leave or stay, but emotionally check out. Your anger is killing your relationships, slowly, one explosion at a time. Your judgment. This might be the most dangerous cost. When you're angry, your prefrontal cortex, the rational, logical part of your brain, goes offline. You're literally thinking with your primitive brain, the same brain structure that a lizard has. You make catastrophically bad decisions because you're temporarily stupid. You say things you can never unsay. You do things you can never undo. You destroy in minutes what took years to build. All because anger made you temporarily insane. Your peace. This is the cost people don't see but feel most acutely. When you're chronically angry, you're never at rest. You're carrying grievances everywhere. You're replaying conflicts. You're planning revenge. You're monitoring constantly for disrespect. Your mind is a war zone. You can't enjoy anything fully because anger is always humming in the background, ready to explode at the next trigger. And here's the truly insidious part. Anger is progressive. It's not static. Every time you get angry, you're training your brain to get angry more easily next time. You're building neural pathways, creating automatic responses, programming yourself for rage. The angry person becomes angrier. The rageful person becomes more rageful. It's a vicious cycle that accelerates over time, and most people never escape it. Seneca witnessed this in the Roman emperors he served. Caligula and Nero started out cruel, but became progressively more monstrous as their anger fed on itself. Unlimited power plus unconstrained anger equals absolute horror. But the same pattern plays out at every scale. The angry parent becomes the abusive parent. The rageful boss becomes the tyrant. The bitter spouse becomes the cruel spouse. Different power levels, same progression, same destruction. And yet, we defend our anger. We say we need it. How else will I stand up for myself? How else will I fight injustice? How else will people know this is serious? These are the questions of people who've never experienced life without anger and can't imagine it's possible. Seneca is here to tell you, not only is it possible, it's better in every conceivable way. 2. How anger works. Here's the secret that changes everything. The secret Seneca discovered through careful observation of himself and others. Anger isn't one thing, it's a process. A series of stages that happen so fast they seem simultaneous. But they're not. And once you can see the stages, you can interrupt the process. Let's break it down in slow motion. Stage 1. The trigger. Something happens. Someone cuts you off in traffic. A colleague criticizes your work. Your partner forgets something important. A stranger is rude to you. The triggering event is external. You have zero control over it. Life will keep throwing triggers at you, always. You cannot prevent this stage. Stage 2. Initial physiological arousal. Your body reacts automatically, before your conscious mind even processes what happened. Your amygdala, your brain's threat detector, sounds the alarm. Hormones dump into your bloodstream, your heart rate spikes, your muscles tense. This happens in milliseconds. You can't control this either. It's hardwired biology, refined by millions of years of evolution to keep you alive when threatened. Now here's where it gets interesting. Here's where your power lives. Stage 3, the 3-second window. This is the gap between the initial jolt and committed anger. In this window, your conscious mind interprets what just happened. It tells a story. They did that deliberately to disrespect me. This person is trying to humiliate me. This is unacceptable and requires retaliation. That interpretation, that story your mind creates, that's what determines whether the initial jolt becomes full anger. Most people don't know this window exists. They experience trigger jolt anger as one seamless automatic process. But it's not. There's a gap. And in that gap, you have a choice. You can choose different interpretations. Instead of, they deliberately disrespected me, you can think, they were probably distracted and didn't even notice me. Instead of, this is about me, you can think, this is about them and their stress. Instead of, this is catastrophic, you can think, this is inconvenient but manageable. Different interpretation, different emotion. Same external event, same initial jolt. Completely different outcome. This is where your freedom lives, in the 3-second window between trigger and rage. Stage 4. Commitment to anger. If you've chosen an anger-generating interpretation, you commit. Your body floods with more hormones. Your thinking narrows to tunnel vision. Your perception distorts to find evidence supporting your anger. Your memory becomes selective, remembering every past offense by this person. Reversing course becomes exponentially harder with each passing second. You're riding the anger wave now, and it's going to take you where it wants to go. Stage 5. Expression. You yell. You send the message. You slam the door. You make the cutting remark. You take action. This is what everyone sees. But it started back in stage 3, in that 3-second window, with the story you told yourself. Stage 6. The aftermath. This is the part anger's promoters never mention. The regret, the damaged relationships, the embarrassment, the consequences of decisions made while temporarily insane, the replaying of what you wish you'd done differently, the apologies you have to make, the trust you have to rebuild, the reputation you have to repair. Here's what Seneca realized. Most people experience this entire sequence as inevitable and automatic. I couldn't help it. They made me angry. I had to respond that way. But it's not automatic. There's a choice point, the 3-second window. Master that moment, master your anger. It's that simple. Not easy, but simple. The question is, can you learn to see the window? Can you train yourself to pause in that gap? Can you practice choosing different interpretations until it becomes automatic? Yes, absolutely yes. Seneca did it. Marcus Aurelius did it while ruling an empire. Epictetus did it while being a slave. If they could do it in their circumstances, you can do it in yours. 3. The tools. Okay, so how do you actually do this? Understanding the process is valuable, but you need practical tools. Techniques you can use right now, today, the next time anger strikes. Seneca gives us an entire toolkit. Let's go through the essentials. The emergency protocol. When anger is happening right now, when you're in that escalating moment, deploy this 4-step process immediately. Step 1. Stop everything. Stop talking mid-sentence if you have to. Stop typing. Stop moving. Just freeze all action. This interrupts the momentum of anger. Anger wants movement, wants expression. Stopping denies it what it wants. Step 2. Breathe deliberately. Not just any breathing, specific pattern. In through your nose for 4 counts. Hold for 4 counts. Out through your mouth for 6 counts. Repeat this 5 times minimum. This isn't woo-woo nonsense. This literally changes your body chemistry. The extended exhale activates your parasympathetic nervous system, shifting you from stress response to relaxation response. It's biology. It works. Step 3. Create distance. Physical, if possible. Leave the room, step outside, walk away. If you can't leave, create psychological distance. Minimal engagement. I hear you. You're present but not participating in escalation. Distance prevents you from saying or doing things you'll regret. Step 4. Use your mantra. Pick one phrase and memorize it. Wait, this will pass. Choose wisdom. Or stop, breathe, think. Or peace over victory. Say it 5 times, 10 times, as many times as needed. Let it drown out the anger thoughts. Your mantra is your anchor in the storm. This emergency protocol buys you time. Time for the initial surge of anger to pass. Time for your rational brain to come back online. Time to choose your response instead of being hijacked by reaction. The 24-hour rule. This is the most important technique in the book. Make it absolute, non-negotiable, no exceptions. No significant action on anger for 24 hours. None. 0. That angry email you want to send? Write it. Don't send it. Save it as a draft. Read it tomorrow. That confrontation you want to have? Schedule it for 24 hours from now. That decision you want to make? Wait 1 day. Why 24 hours? Several reasons. Your body chemistry normalizes, stress hormones clear your system. Your perspective shifts. Time creates distance. Distance creates clarity. Your memory becomes more accurate. You remember things you forgot in the heat of anger. You access your wisdom. The calm, wise part of you comes back online. The situation often resolves itself. Many things that trigger anger are temporary and self-correcting. After 24 hours, one of 3 things happens. Most often, you realize the issue isn't significant at all. What enraged you yesterday seems trivial today. You take no action because no action is needed. Sometimes, you still think it needs addressing, but your emotional intensity has decreased dramatically. You respond calmly and proportionately instead of exploding. Rarely, you conclude after 24 hours that the issue is significant and your response is appropriate. Even then, your response will be more effective delivered calmly than angrily. The 24-hour rule has one simple promise. You will almost never wish you'd acted immediately in anger. You will almost always be grateful you waited. Rewriting the story. Remember the 3-second window? This is the advanced technique for mastering it. When you catch yourself telling an anger-generating story, actively rewrite it. First, identify your automatic story. They did this deliberately to hurt me because they're bad and I'm being persecuted. Write it down if you can. See it clearly. Second, separate facts from interpretation. What actually, objectively happened? Strip away all the meaning you added. The facts are usually far less dramatic than your story. Third, generate alternative explanations. At least 3. They were distracted. They were stressed. They didn't think about how it would land. They made a mistake. They're limited. Alternative explanations are almost always more accurate than your anger's interpretation of deliberate malice. Fourth, choose the most charitable explanation that fits the facts. This is strategic truth-seeking, not naive optimism. Most of the time, the charitable explanation is actually more accurate. Fifth, rewrite your story. They did X. They were probably distracted and dealing with their own stress. This isn't about me. This is inconvenient but not catastrophic. Feel how different this story feels. Same external event, completely different emotion. The forgiveness weapon. This might be the most powerful tool of all. Forgiveness isn't a gift to the person who wronged you. It's a weapon you use to free yourself from the prison of resentment. Forgiveness doesn't mean what they did was okay. It doesn't mean you forget. It doesn't mean you reconcile. It doesn't mean you trust them again. Forgiveness means, I release my claim on revenge. I'm putting down this grievance. I'm no longer carrying this weight. I'm choosing my peace over their punishment. Here's why this is powerful. Anger needs grievances to survive. As long as you hold the grievance, you have to maintain anger to justify it. When you release all grievances through forgiveness, anger has no fuel. It starves. The forgiveness process. Acknowledge what happened honestly. Feel your feelings about it. Understand their humanity. See them as flawed, limited, suffering. Recognize their own pain. Hurt people hurt people. Decide to forgive. Say it explicitly. Practice the forgiveness repeatedly. Recommit when anger resurfaces. Eventually, wish them well. This is advanced practice, but liberating. Forgiveness is for you, always for you. Your freedom matters more than their punishment. Daily practices. Freedom from anger isn't just about reacting well to triggers. It's about building a life where triggers are less frequent, less intense, and less likely to penetrate your peace. Morning routine. Wake deliberately. Set intention. Practice gratitude. Review potential triggers. Move your body. Connect with purpose. 20 minutes that sets the tone for your entire day. Midday reset. Take a real break. Breathe deliberately. Check your state. Reaffirm your intention. 5 minutes that prevents afternoon anger. Evening review. Review trigger moments. Celebrate successes. Identify lessons. Practice forgiveness. Prepare for tomorrow. End with gratitude. 15 minutes that turns experience into wisdom. These practices create a foundation. You're not just managing anger when it appears, you're building immunity to anger through consistent practice. 4. The life. So what does life without anger actually look like? What changes? What doesn't? Let's get specific. First, what doesn't change? Life is still hard. People still do annoying, thoughtless, even cruel things. Injustice still exists. Frustration is still frequent. You haven't created perfect circumstances by eliminating anger. You don't live in a bubble where nothing bad happens. The world is still the world. But everything internal changes, and that changes everything. You wake up without dread. There's no mental rehearsal of yesterday's conflicts, no catastrophizing about today's potential confrontations, no preparation for battle. You're starting from peace, from possibility, from openness to what the day brings. This shift in how you greet each morning is profound. You move through your day noticing beauty instead of monitoring for threats. Where you once scanned constantly for disrespect, you now notice sunlight, humor, connection, simple pleasures. Your attention is freed from vigilance and can rest on what's actually happening. Life becomes richer, not because anything external changed, but because you're finally present for it. Your relationships transform. People relax around you. They don't have to manage your moods or walk on eggshells. Conversations go deeper because they're not worried about triggering you. They trust you with vulnerability because you've proven you're safe. You notice people seeking you out, asking for your perspective, trusting you with responsibility. Your calm becomes a gift to everyone you interact with. Your thinking clears. Your mind is no longer consumed with grievances, revenge fantasies, or rehearsing confrontations. This freed mental energy flows into creativity, planning, problem-solving, learning, anything you choose. You're shocked by how much bandwidth anger was consuming. Now that bandwidth is available for what actually enriches your life. Your judgment improves dramatically. Without anger clouding every decision, you make better choices. Professionally, personally, in every domain. You're operating from clarity rather than from rage-induced temporary insanity. You look back at old decisions made in anger and hardly recognize the person who made them. Your health improves. You sleep better because you're not replaying grievances at night. Your blood pressure normalizes. Your immune function strengthens. The chronic stress of anger is lifted, and your body heals. Even if you don't notice the changes consciously, your body is celebrating the elimination of anger's toxic effects. You discover you're stronger than you thought. You thought anger made you strong. You were wrong. Without anger, you discover real strength, the strength to face any provocation calmly, to stand firm without rage, to maintain integrity under pressure. This strength is quiet, steady, unshakable. People respect it far more than they ever respected your anger. You discover most problems solve themselves. So many things you would have raged about simply resolve naturally when you don't interfere with anger. The colleague who annoyed you apologizes unprompted. The situation that seemed intolerable changes on its own. The person you would have confronted handles the issue themselves. Your anger would have made all of these worse. Your calm allowed them to resolve naturally. You discover others' anger doesn't control you anymore. People still get angry around you. They might even get angry at you. But their anger no longer determines your internal state. You can witness rage while remaining at peace. You're finally free from emotional contagion. Their storm doesn't become your storm. You discover forgiveness is easy. What once seemed impossible, forgiving serious wrongs, becomes natural. Without anger feeding resentment, forgiveness flows. You put down grievances without struggle. This ease keeps your heart light and your relationships healthy. You discover purpose has space to breathe. When anger was consuming your energy, purpose struggled for attention. Now purpose has room. You're clearer about what matters, more focused on meaningful work, more committed to what you're here to do. Your life organizes around purpose rather than around reactivity. Most profoundly, you discover peace is your natural state. Not something you create through effort, not something that requires perfect circumstances. Peace is what remains when you stop creating turbulence through anger. It's your baseline. It's always there underneath the noise. Anger was covering it. When anger leaves, peace is simply there, has always been there, waiting for you. This is what life without anger looks like. Not perfection, not the absence of challenges, freedom. The freedom to be yourself regardless of circumstances. The freedom to respond to life with wisdom rather than being controlled by reactivity. The freedom to live fully, love deeply, and remain at peace through it all. Conclusion. Seneca lived under tyranny. He served under Caligula, who was violently insane. He advised Nero, who eventually ordered his death. He witnessed the worst humanity is capable of: cruelty, corruption, injustice on scales we can hardly imagine. He had every justification for rage, every reason to be bitter, angry, consumed with hatred for the system that would eventually kill him. He chose differently. He chose peace. He chose wisdom. He chose freedom from anger, despite everything. And when Nero finally ordered his suicide, Seneca faced it with complete calm. No rage at the injustice, no bitterness at the betrayal, just peace. His final act was a demonstration of everything he taught. You can be free from anger, even when everything justifies rage. You're not facing what Seneca faced. But whatever you are facing, difficult relationships, workplace stress, injustice in your life or in the world, you can face it the same way. With clarity, with wisdom, with calm power, without anger. Here's what Seneca promises you, what I promise you. The path is hard but clear. The practice is simple but requires commitment. The failures are inevitable but not permanent. And the destination, a life free from rage, lived in peace regardless of circumstances, is worth every effort required to reach it. This isn't about suppressing anger. It's not about managing it better or controlling your temper. This is about eliminating anger completely. Because you don't need it. You never did. Everything anger promised, strength, justice, satisfaction, You get better without it. Everything anger took from you, peace, clarity, relationships, health, you get back when it leaves. The question isn't whether freedom from anger is possible. Seneca proved it is. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire without rage. Epictetus endured slavery without bitterness. Nelson Mandela forgave 27 years of unjust imprisonment. Viktor Frankl survived the camps without losing his humanity. Countless others have walked this path. The question is, will you? Will you practice the emergency protocol when anger strikes? Will you follow the 24-hour rule absolutely? Will you rewrite your anger-generating stories? Will you build anger-proof days through daily practice? Will you forgive? Will you continue despite failures? Will you commit completely to your freedom? If you will, freedom awaits. Not someday, starting today. Not after your circumstances improve, right now, in the circumstances you have. Every moment is a choice. Anger or peace. Reactivity or wisdom. Rage or freedom. You get to choose. Seneca wrote De Ira nearly 2,000 years ago. His words survived because they contain eternal truth. Freedom from anger is possible for humans. You're human, therefore it's possible for you. Not easy, not quick, but absolutely, definitively possible. The work starts now. The freedom is waiting. Every technique in this book, every practice, every insight, they're your tools for liberation. Use them, practice them, master them, transform yourself through them. Choose wisdom, choose peace, choose yourself, choose freedom. Welcome to your life without rage. It's going to be extraordinary.